Hi everybody, it's Angela, and I am back with another design team project for SaCrafters. And I have already glued up the base of this and spray painted it white. And I'm just showing you kind of how it goes together. I did not put the top and the doors on because I thought it would be easier to decorate the inside without those on. So I'm just kind of showing you what it looks like after it's assembled. And I'm going to use this Motley paper by Marion Smith, and this is some that I got from Kim that I won from one of the SaCrafters, I think her birthday challenge. Thank you, Kim. And so I'm just going to use that to line it, and so I've taken the doors and the top back off, and that just makes it easier to work on the interior. And the spray paint worked really well, especially for those doors where it has all those little interior windows and stuff. It was just a lot easier to spray paint it white, and it went a lot faster for me, so I didn't do that on camera. I just took it outside. And the gluing up process is pretty, you guys have seen me do that a lot, so I thought not showing it on this one wouldn't be a big deal. So I'm going to use this kind of off-white distressed paper for my walls or the background in this cupboard, and usually I would use like a print type of paper, but I am going to use this to display some more of my dollhouse miniatures, and so it's going to be pretty busy inside there. So I decided to go with just this more white color for the background, and I want it to look kind of like almost like an antique store or something inside, or a curiosity shop or whatever, when I display the miniatures in there. So that's why I really love this Marion Smith collection, because it's got a lot of kind of vintagey feel to it, and a collagey look, and so the colors worked really well. So what I did, you saw me do, was just measure out the panel that I'm going to cover. And now I'm just putting some Mod Podge down and adhering my paper. And then I'm using my bone folder to just get out any air bubbles and make sure it's really stuck down on all the edges. And then I go to this bigger panel. And on this one, I wasn't liberal enough with my Mod Podge, so you'll see me when I put it back down, I actually wind up kind of peeling it back up and putting more glue down. You know, I was trying not to go overboard and have the paper really bubble, you know, with lots of glue, but I actually went a little too sparing on the Mod Podge. So I'm just gonna go over these edges again, and then I'm like, it still wasn't sticking down very good, so I just peeled the whole thing up and just apply a little more, a little bit thicker, and put it down again. And then that time it adhered really well. So I go ahead and get that panel on. And after I got done with this cupboard and stuff, and I did my pictures and everything for it, I was looking at it thinking, oh my gosh, this would be so cute for, because the shelves, it's a pretty tall space in there. This cabinet would look so cute filled with like little perfume bottles. Wouldn't that be cute? Like doing like a French Parisian themed paper, and then putting like little decorative, the smaller perfume bottles in there. I think that would be really cute in a bathroom or on a dressing table. But anyhow, or craft supplies would be good. Just little bottles of different kinds of craft supplies and things like that. But I did use mine for miniatures. And after I got all of the white paper for the background adhered down, I'm putting another coat of Mod Podge on top of it. And I do this for all of mine just because it seals it and makes it easier to dust later. But you don't have to. It's just a personal preference. And I wind up doing the same technique for both of the interior walls, for the two shelves and the exterior, and I'll show you it when it's completed here. I won't make you actually sit through me gluing all the papers down, but I just wanted to show this first portion of me applying the Mod Podge and stuff for people who are new to this and haven't done it before. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And then on the drawer fronts, there is a little finger pull there. So as you can see, I just put the drawer front down and mark it on my paper. And then I'm going to trim on the inside of the line and just trim out that finger pull. And then I wanted a little more of the white showing, a little white edge. So I actually trim it down just a hair, just so there's a little bit of white showing. And then I'm going to do the same technique of applying Mod Podge to the base there, putting a nice liberal coat, really adhering that paper down well, and then putting a coat over the top. And so that's what I did for this top, the sides, and the shelf, and the drawers. So now my main decoration on the top is going to be some paper flowers. So I'm just looking through my stash. I want a couple big ones and then lots of little ones to kind of cascade along the top there. I'm going to cluster them all kind of to the right hand side because I may want to sit something on the left hand side at some point. So I wanted to leave a little bit of open space. I didn't want to cover the whole top of the cabinet. So I'm just going to cluster them there where that little postcard and decoration are on the paper. And those I am just going to attach with some hot glue. So I put my biggest rose in the back. And then I have a little bit smaller size rose that I'm going to cluster around that. And it helps if you have a few different sizes of roses because it just seems to flow a little better if you have a couple different sizes. So you can see there that my roses are getting a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to move to even smaller roses to kind of fill in and thicken that up and bring a little bit more color in there. It just kind of fills in some of the gaps and I kind of tuck them together. And that just adds a little bit of color and softness to the top of that. I had one more that I had already cut off, so I stuck him in there too. So that's all I'm going to do for the top of it for the moment. And now I'm going to work on the doorknobs, and I have these little resin flowers from Fancy Pants, and I just thought that was a cute thing instead of putting actual knobs. So I'm just using hot glue to adhere those. I think that'll work okay. If not, if they do pop off at some point, I'll have to put some E6000 on them. So there you can see my drawer fronts and my sides and the interior. And then I also have this little picture frame from SaCrafters, and I just fussy cut out one of the ladies out of the background paper on the paper collection to put there. And then I also have one of SaCrafters chandeliers that I've painted up white that I'm going to hang on in the bottom shelf there. And then I realized I had forgot to put the stickles on there. I had meant to put stickles, so I go grab a bottle of well, these aren't actual stickles, but some glitter glue. And I'm just going to add that to the candles and then the little teardrops hanging down from the chandelier, just to give a little bit of sparkle. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it here on film, but yeah, you can't really tell. But in person, you can tell that little bit of extra sparkle. So that's about all I'm going to do inside because, like I said, I'm going to put a lot of stuff in there. And the other thing that I want to add to this is one of the SaCrafters wood sentiments on the top. And I'm going to use the word delightful because I think that would be good. There's just going to be a lot of little goodies inside here, so I think it's hopefully going to look delightful when I'm done. And then I got a little bit of glue that kind of squished out in the front, So I just take my X-Acto knife and kind of just ball it up, and then I can pick it off. So no problem if the hot glue kind of pokes out. So there we go. And I left that the natural color because that really works well with the paper. So here is it filled with the items that I want to put in it. And I left the doors just plain white because they're going to be open pretty much all the time. I'm going to display it open. And the drawers, I have extra little goodies that I can store in there to switch out later. And there you can see the paper on the side. Isn't that beautiful? Very vintagey. I thought it looked kind of flea market-ish and thought it would work good for this application. But wouldn't that be pretty with perfume bottles in it too? Oh my gosh. So there are my sides, the drawer fronts. And then I'll open this up, and you can see how the little picture frame and the chandelier just kind of give height to the display that I put in the box. So you can see the little lady in the frame, and then some of the chairs and tables and antique things that are kind of for sale, and little butterfly thing on a podium. And yeah, so those are some of my miniatures that I wanted to display. And let me just show you the top here real quick. There's the top, and I don't have anything sitting on top there yet, but I probably will at some point. And so that is my project. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything on this, please let me know. And I will talk to you all again later.